Hey there, folks. Chris McLean back with another show today. I've got the lovely Joanna from Macchiato Advertising Agency based out of Singapore. And they're a full-service marketing and advertising agency with focused efforts in the crypto and the F&B space, which is something I'm very interested to find out about how that sort of divergency came across. They believe marketing dollars spent should be justified with revenue, which, hey, we're running businesses and we're helping people grow their businesses. So that makes perfect sense. Joanna, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Hi.
Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending your morning with us. So super interested to get into kind of what you do in the sort of the crypto and the F&B space and how that kind of came about. But we always like to go back to the start of things. So tell Avity come to be. How did you start the agency?
Okay, so I started it back in 2013 when I had a first business. I started my first business when I was 19 and it started to stabilize. So in 2013, I think that's when I was 23, I realized that I didn't need to hold a full-time job anymore, because when I first started, I held a full-time job with my first business. And I realized that, okay, I don't need the income from the full-time job. I want to run my business, my first business, full-time. So I quit my full-time job because I didn't need the money. And on my first day of not having a full-time job when I was 23, I realized that I had so much free time. I didn't actually need 24 hours to run one business. So a couple of days went by, I realized that I was wasting my time because I woke up at, pretty late in the afternoon and I was just doing nothing much. It was too early to retire with just my first company. Yeah, so I wanted to do something more because I've always done a lot of things to hustle or make money. So I wasn't used to being comfortable. So I just woke up one day and then I thought to myself, I came from a design background and I love design. So why not set up a design and marketing company? I just woke up one day with that thought and then I texted my then best friend and then I was like, do you want to start a business? And then she said, yeah, okay, let's start a business. And then he was like, okay, I'll meet at your house, then we'll pick a name. So that's how I started. And we both love coffee. So we went on Google, we Googled different types of coffee. And, there was latte, cappuccino, macchiato. And I was like, okay, what sounds cool? And we decided on macchiato, which kind of is a blend of both of our characters. So I'm the espresso shot because people either like me or they don't. And she's the bubbly one. So she's the frost.
A little bit of foam on top.
She's the fun one. She's the one that everyone loves. I'm the devil's advocate. So okay. Yeah, that's how we started. I just woke up one day with a thought, I want to do this and I love what I'm doing. So let's do it. That's it.
Yeah, so cool. Wow. And when did you start kind of as a design and graphic based agency? Is that sort of where you came into, or did you lean straight into digital? What kind of formats and what sort of services did you start offering up when you got up and running?
Yeah, I think that when we first started, there was no company. We did register the name, but it was just the two of us. She studied industrial design. I studied architecture. Okay. And it was just taking on freelance projects. And because I was already running the first business before, there were a lot of connections that came in. So we started off doing graphic design, branding, corporate branding mainly. No consulting, no advertising, because we didn't know any of these things. I didn't further my studies. So everything that I know as of now, it's just based on experience. Yeah, so we started off doing graphic design, not even marketing, just basically design. And then from there, we just learned. We just winged it through. If a client says that, okay, I can do this thing, and it's our first project doing something like that, we will say, yes, we can do it. and then we just go figure it out.
Yeah, that's a great way to start a business. Well,
Yeah,
it can be, and yeah.
we kind of evolve along the way. Yeah, and that's how we
Yeah,
took on digital advertising, and then went into
Okay.
digital marketing.
Yeah. I think it's a really interesting way because it builds a really resilient skill set. That capability, that ability to, just go figure something out and be self-taught and self-learn. It's a really, really, particularly for an entrepreneur, and when you are the whole business, it's really important skill set to develop. To have that curiosity enough to actually go, okay, how am I going to figure this thing out? But to have that capability, just
exactly.
Or kind of take on the work, get some consequences on board. If someone's paying me to do this thing now, I'd better go figure this shit out.
Figure it out and do a good job.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting way to get going in business, and it keeps it very exciting, keeps you definitely kind of focused in. Someone's giving you money, right? You've got to go, you got to figure this thing out. So it sort of sets some consequence and a bit of risk, and it makes it pretty exciting. So you get a nice drop of attention and focus, and you sort of start to get going. But time that skill set that I don't know if that's sort of where you are now that you've done that a lot, you can pretty much, if someone says, hey, go do this, you've got that innate skill set, just go, that confidence, I'll figure it out. Because you've done it so much, you've built that muscle. Is that what you find now, that even outside of work, you can pretty much just go figure stuff out now? You've got that confidence?
Yeah, because you've always had to do that. And it's just kind of used to, I think it's also because of the first business. When you move from I started off as an employee. As in, I used to hold a full-time job doing design.
Yeah.
And it's very different from being an employee and shifting into self-employed, and eventually, having a team under you that you manage, moving to a business owner. So there's a lot of ownership, and I think the main difference is that when you run your own agency, there is no boss for you to answer to, because you are the boss and people look to you for answers. So you have to find a way out for every single thing. So either you do that introspectively, or you find connections or mentors who can guide you along. So everything is pretty much figure it out as you go. And because you're so used to that, I would say nothing much scares you anymore. There's no big project that you feel that you can't handle, because all the answers are there. It's just whether you put in effort to find it.
Yeah. I think this is in terms of building a long-term sustainable business, it's a super important skill set, because like what you're saying, it gives you that confidence, right? You can step into anything, and that fear, you've got such a bigger tolerance for fear and tolerance for stress and tolerance for overwhelm, just because that I've handled something like this in the past. And even if this is a bit of a stretch, I know I've got the capability to do it. I think that goes a long way to getting stuff done. And particularly in, I guess, the sort of volatile environment we find ourselves in now over the last sort of 18 months with pandemic and all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah,
just the market can change and clients change, and maybe you've got to pivot the business and change and shift. That capability to adjust and be agile and just step in and do stuff, majorly important. Have you found that useful? How has it been sort of volatile for you over the last 18 months, or has it been sort of smooth sailing? What's happened inside the business?
We kind of did our best since COVID. It has been our best in terms of sales, in terms of growth. And why? Because when Singapore, we entered our lockdown, or when there was news, I think we had maybe 2 weeks or so to prepare before we entered our first lockdown last year.
Right.
I was already planning how we're going to do things, and I knew that there was a lot of bad news everywhere. Businesses closing down, people losing their jobs, inflation, and all that. So I knew that competition was going to die out. I mean, that's what I interpreted it as. Competition was going to die out. So I knew I had to be louder. I had to scale up. I have to do all these things. And so while I did all these things to be louder about what I was doing and to have the experience, I also started to recruit the team to prepare for the projects. So it's kind of like a law of attraction. You know that you're gonna have a lot more clients, so you start to prepare the team. Because when the team is there, it's like if you're praying for rain, you carry an umbrella. Because you know it's gonna rain. You have that 100% faith that it's gonna rain when you head out. So it's the same thing. And I expanded the team. We grew like from 5, 6, we grew to 30 of us last year.
Wow.
And I took in everyone I had a representation from almost every Southeast Asian country. So I feel that being in marketing and advertising, I don't just want to know what's happening on the news in those countries. I needed a voice. I needed a voice from every country. I needed a representative. So I try to take in everyone from every Southeast Asian country.
Yeah, wow.
And diversity in the team.
So that's where you mainly operate. You operate across Southeast Asia for your client base?
Client base, not so much, but my team is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's massive growth.
Yeah. Our clients' business is mainly in Asia. The clients might not be in Asia, but because we do B2B, so their clients would be in Asia. So we kind of need to know what's going on around. Yeah.
Okay, experts. So if you're selling expertise of how to market and how to communicate in a specific Asian country, and that people can kind of lump Asia into one thing, but they're very, very distinct between Singapore, even Singapore and Malaysia, which are very close, are very distinct, into Thailand, into China. You know, every country is quite distinct in just their personality and how they communicate and languages they speak and sub-languages and cultures. And so it's very important. That 5 people to 30 people over, was that over like 12 months, over 18 months? That's
no, not even that. I think it was 6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And how did you find that? Did you sort of step into that leadership position quite naturally? Was there a challenge in just managing that number of people? How was that process for you?
I think I was fortunate to have the experience from my first business. So the first business, I was already managing, I think, around 60 to 80 people. So I had the experience from my first company, and I brought that over to my own agency. So 30 is considered a small number for me as compared to what I was previously doing. So not much. But I think the only challenge was having to do it 100% online. So we don't have that human connection to build the rapport, to build a relationship, because I always treat my team like family, even for my first business. And I would watch over them. I would watch over them more than I would for a client. So I feel that having a good team is very important. So I value them more than I would a client, I really would say. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to give you the longevity, because that's your family, that's your team. You keep good people and keep them engaged, and they know that you've got your back and that you're not going to side. A lot of times you can see that owners will side with clients. You know, if there's a challenge or a client raises an issue, side with the client because we need the money, we need the account. It's very, very different if your team know that you've got your back, and as long as they are actually doing the right thing, that you're going to side with them and that you'll manage that client piece if something does go wrong. How have you? This is quite an interesting sort of areas. How have you managed that cultural aspect and that team aspect and that family component virtually? Do you communicate through Slack? Do you have Zoom calls? How do you manage that cultural aspect when you're never face to face with?
Yeah. So everyone in the team, we are even though we do come from different countries, there's quite a few things that we have in common. So one thing is that I did try to keep the whole gender equality 50-50. I really tried. But we are 100% female run right now. So
that's a weird sense of some kind of equality, I guess.
Because other places there's probably 100% male. So for my side,
right. You're balancing out the industry.
Yeah. So we did start off with 50-50 gender equality and all that. But now we're 100% female. So that's one thing we have in common. We kind of know the struggles, unconscious bias, or the challenges that we face. So that's one thing that keeps us together. Second thing is, I think almost every one of us, we are influencers in one way or another online on any given platform. So I think almost more than half my team, they're social media influencers on Instagram. Some are on TikTok, YouTube. I think I'm probably the only one that's on Facebook because I think I'm the oldest around there. I'm one of the oldest. So my followers are on Facebook.
Yeah.
So we kind of use social media to build a bond. So we do TikToks together. When the lockdown first happened, I made everyone start a TikTok account. And we kind of staged videos together, do trends, because first thing, I wanted to build a bond. And TikTok was pretty new then, 1.5, 2 years ago. So that's one reason to build a bond via TikTok. Second thing, I wanted to start TikTok brand marketing, but I needed everyone to learn the platform by posting their own videos first. So that was the second reason why we all pretty much started a TikTok account. So we use social media to build a bond, to answer your question. And it's basically a lot of understanding. I treat them, I don't like them to call me boss. So we never ever use that word. I call them my team. I don't call them employees. So the choice of words kind of forms the impression on how the relationship is being built. So I always call them my team. If I post anything on social media referencing to them, it's always my team. And they refer to me as a team. So we kind of work together as partners. We have the mutual respect. So that's how I like to build the relationship from the start of working together, because it's not, I have more responsibility because I'm running it and they have lesser. So it's like this from the start. Basically understanding mutual respect and TikToks.
Yeah, and TikToks. I love that. It's a super interesting way to start stitching and remixing each other's TikToks as an engagement mechanic. That's
yeah.
A new one. Do you find that having a fully female dynamic, does that, or an all-female team, does that impact your client relationships? Do you tend to work with more female decision makers? Do you work across the board? Does it change culturally from country to country? Do you find that is it a positive? Does it affect the type of work that you do or the clients that you work with in any way?
There's a few advantages that we have. So first thing, we're all pretty young, or at least we look younger than our age. So that's kind of one disadvantage on both sides, I guess.
Right.
So I mean, being 100% female as of now, I do want to expand into having males because I need different perspectives as well. So 100% female. No, our clients mainly, they don't really look at this. They just look at the results that we have and they come on board. So they don't know that we're 100% female because they don't see the whole team.
Right.
There's only a few of us that handles client calls. So they don't know who the full team is and they really don't care. So they're all very professional. That's one thing. And I guess the past 1 or 2 years, there's more issues or more issues that come to light on diversity, on being inclusive, of the whole gender equality and all that. So when they see that, we have a female founder, we have everyone in my team. Actually, everyone in my team, when I got them in last year, they were either affected because of COVID and they lost their jobs,
Right.
or they're single moms, stay-at-home moms. So 99% of the people in my team, they're not experienced marketeers, but I train them to be able to take on the client work.
Right.
When our clients come on board, I let it be known to them that when they come on board with my agency, instead of choosing another, everyone in my team benefits, because everyone in my team, they are stay-at-home mom, single mom. They might have had their source of income affected because of COVID. So they're actually helping when they come on board. But I ensure that my team delivers professional standard of work, and it's not charity work, even though they're not very experienced as compared to the teams of other agencies. So not much difference. I think we have a lot of advantages, because that was how I grew the team. Everyone kind of works like a family, because we know we're helping each other through these tough times. So
yeah,
so
I love that you're
my clients are great. Like, everyone is super understanding, and I really would say I'm very blessed to have the clients that I have.
That's awesome. I think it's amazing that you said right up the front, we were talking about that self-learning and building that muscle, that skill set to take on any challenge. It really sounds like that's something that you've literally baked into the DNA of your agency and how you work, and that's something that you're transferring to your staff by saying, look, I not know TikTok, but hey, let's get you on TikTok. Let's get you putting videos together. Let's get you understanding the platform. And now that you know how to do it, you've figured it out. Now you can help our clients do the same thing. I think that's a really, really interesting and quite uplifting and empowering perspective of you're not necessarily going out finding experts and specialists, but you're training up experts and specialists within the firm, which is really, really cool. You've been able to ingrain that a value from yourself, something that you started and something that's quite innate to you. You've been a trainable way to build asset and build value in your team and give them, it sounds like, amazing opportunity to support their families if they're single mums to survive and thrive through the what the whole world's going through right now. So kudos to you. I think that's very, very inspiring for a lot of people out there to how you're actually giving back to the.
I'm just paying it forward. So like my first business, I didn't start off my first business, the first company. I was kind of like an unpaid intern, and my CEO groomed me, mentored me from when I had nothing till I had a source of income that could allow me to quit my full-time job. So I always grew up in a mentor-mentee kind of working relationship instead of employee-employer. So when I started my own company, that was the only way that I knew how to work, because I had such a good role model and mentor from my first business, my CEO. It's still running, so the first company is still running. And he still mentors me, he still guides me. So because he's such a great role model, that's why I can do this, or it's the only way I know how to grow my agency. Because I saw how he did everything. And he's very accomplished, but very humble. So that's, I'm just an extension of that from him.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, love it. You had that opportunity, and you've really you've understood kind of what it was that made you successful and made you who you are, and you've been able to transition that and turn that into something that's trainable and teachable that you can then pass on to that next generation. Through. Before we wrap, before we do wrap, I do want to get into this distinction between you work in the crypto space and you work in the F&B, the food and beverage space. Those are quite different. How did those? How did you find yourself sort of positioning in those two verticals?
So the idea of Macchiato is that from the time when I started, I always wanted to build a school. I wanted to build a design school that teaches creativity across all different ages. So I knew that I had to build up a certain portfolio to do that, to build the school. And somehow I never wanted to go into F&B. But I guess based on Singapore culture, Singaporeans, they love their food, and there's a lot of F&Bs that come and go all the time. And back then, my co-founder, she is a foodie. So somehow the F&B businesses just started to come in, and you're like, okay, we'll just take on this F&B, and then we'll try it out. But the main idea was to always do marketing for schools or institutions, universities, to build up our portfolio so that we can eventually start our own school. So the F&B businesses just started to pile on, and we were like, okay, from being a small portfolio, it kind of took up. Last year, it was, I think, almost 100% of our portfolio of F&Bs, of our clients. And I felt that F&B and crypto, they are recession-proof. And previously, we also do luxury brand marketing. So before we started to do crypto, it was only luxury and F&B. But I started to change my views on luxury. I don't want to do branded stuff because it's not what I believe in anymore. So I believe in crypto. I believe in how it can solve a lot of the existing problems that we are currently facing. To me, it's not an industry, it's a revolution, and I want to be able to be a part of that. And like I said, that our agency, we always want to deliver whatever our clients pay. We want to ensure that we deliver the revenue to them, because it wouldn't make sense if you pay money for marketing and the revenue doesn't come in. And the best thing about crypto is that from the time when the token when no one knows about the token, and you put in, you actually know what you're doing in terms of marketing, you put in the effort, and the token price increase because there is adoption for it. The client usually pays in crypto as well. So the value that you're getting paid increases because you know what you're doing in terms of your marketing abilities. So it's a direct reflection. If you're not confident of your own marketing abilities, it's very difficult for you to step into crypto because clients would pay in their token. I feel you got to know what you're doing, and and there's also a gap in the market. Marketing agencies might not understand crypto. People who are in the crypto industry, they might not understand how to do the marketing. So there is a huge gap in that market that I knew we should fulfill, or we should fill in. So I started to train up the team into learning more about crypto and all those kind of stuff. So I started to have the interest, and I changed my views on crypto. And I feel that every agency owner, your company or your agency, is just a reflection or extension of your values and principles. So it kind of grows along the way as you grow as a person. So I had the agency for around 7 or 8 years. So naturally, from graphic design to marketing to digital advertising to crypto, and then specifically dropping luxury and wanting to just focus on F&B and crypto, it's because I have grown as a person and my views and my beliefs have changed. So basically, these two industries, F&B and crypto, to answer your question, is because they're recession-proof. We can go on lockdown, people still need to eat. And crypto, everything is digital. This is not really affected by the recession, with inflation and all that. People are looking for safe ways to store their money and not lose its value. So it's win. F&B, it's for everyone. Crypto, I would say it's for everyone when they really understand how it can help them.
Yeah, I love that. I was literally going to say it definitely sounds like you person hard on you, so to speak, and very much aligns and adapts the business to your values and your vision and who you are and how you're evolving, right? And you said it very succinctly. You've shifted the business as you've evolved as a person, and having that awareness and having the ability to do that is again an innate skill set that some don't have, but you've seemed very fortunate that you've had that and you understand that, and you're able to go, right, we're moving over here, and you can sort of bring your team along with you. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, no, I said that everyone has it. It's just that they need to listen to themselves more. Everyone has that. Everyone knows what they should do and what they shouldn't do. They just need to listen to themselves more. I meditate to get the answers, because otherwise there's no one to get the answers from. So it can be trained. It can be trained.
Yeah.
It's not something that people are born with and some are not.
Yeah, 100% agree. And a lot of the time it's just getting out of your own way to allow that inspiration, to allow that knowledge to sort of to come through. And as I said, meditation's a great space stillness to as you say, tap in and kind of get the clarity to have those answers come through. But then you've also got to act on it, right? And it's you're very, very capable of going, okay, this is the thing I have to do. Now I'm going to actually turn that into action and bring my team along with me and try and make this trainable and teachable. So love what you're doing. And the entire recession-proof thing makes a lot of sense. I get the connection now. I can see from two quite divergent things it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Very, very cool stuff. And I think you're right. There's definitely some crypto's a bit of a zeitgeist culturally at the moment. Everyone's talking crypto and tokens and NFTs. So certainly a rich space to move into at the moment. And everyone's sitting at home and they just sitting on their computers trading crypto. So it's interesting time and future proof, pandemic proof, recession proof. I love the thinking. Thank you so much for swinging by the show. It's been enlightening. I've really enjoyed sort of how you do things, how you go about your business, how you're supporting your team. If people want to find out some more about you, if they'd like to connect to the agency, come and watch you connect with you on TikTok, and see where's them come and connect with you over there. Yeah, so it's the old reverse on the screen. It's pointing is difficult. So for those listening at home, I'll drop all those links to macchiatoagency.com, and the best place to connect at the website or on LinkedIn, on Facebook, any of those. Are you?
Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, if you can find me. Anywhere is fine.
Amazing. I'll drop all those links in the show notes so you can go and get connected with Joanna. And if you're in food or bev or you want to send more about crypto, go get connected with her.
Yes. Okay.
You got to connect and got to hear your story.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Keep doing what you're doing. I think there's a lot of people that would be able to benefit from your content.
Thank you. I plan to. Appreciate that and appreciate you dropping by. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you got as much out of today's episode here with Joanna as I did. Look forward to seeing you soon. Joanna, enjoy Singapore. Enjoy your Singapore day ahead. And we'll chat soon. Thanks, everyone. See you soon. See you on the next one.